South Wales missed the worst of the bank holiday weather, and that meant there was plenty of time for Glamorgan to hammer home their advantage on the second day of their LV County Championship match with Leicestershire at the Swalec Stadium in Cardiff. The home side had a great first day, removing Leicestershire for just 109 before answering with 56 runs for the loss of Tom Lansfield's wicket. The visitors needed some early responses to try to force their way back into this contest, but instead Jacques Rudolph and Will Bragg pushed the score along in the morning, eventually taking their side into the lead with only one wicket down. The pitch still had a green tinge to it, but the visiting attack were not able to use it to their advantage as the Glamorgan bowlers had on the previous day. A seventh boundary, this one off Jigger Nake, took Rudolph to his third 50 as a Glamorgan player. The 33-year-old South African had required 69 balls for this one, an innings at odds with what had preceded it in this match. All three of his half-centuries this year have now come against his opposition. He clearly enjoys their attack. He took his partnership with Bragg to 73 runs made in 23 overs, and then the latter edged Charlie Shrek to Greg Smith to go for 21 at 116 for 2. But that was the only success for Leicestershire in the morning session. Ben Wright came in to join Rudolph with his side already 7 runs to the good, and both played attractively through to and beyond the lunch break. Leicestershire, who began this season in good form, appeared to have taken a backward step in the last week, and they would have known already that their backs were up against the wall in Cardiff. They were not helped by the fact that these two batsmen comfortably added 61 more runs for the third wicket. The one major disappointment for Glamorgan was that Rudolph was unable to score his first 100 for them and the 47th of his career. 12 runs short of 3 figures, he got a regulation nick off Shrek to offer the bowler his second wicket of the day. Wright soon followed on 36, another edge, this time off Nathan Buck, being poached by Smith again in the slips. Wright left with his side on 191 for 4 with a lead of 82. Leicestershire now needed to make the most of those 2 wickets which had come in the space of 7 overs. In Chris Cook and Jim Allenby, they now had 2 new batsmen to have a go at, but rather than drag themselves back into this game, they allowed both batsmen to make a start as they took their own partnership into the final session of what had become a rather gloomy day. These two added a very handy 80 runs in 20 overs together, when Allenby on 44 dragged a short ball from Buck to Shrek at long leg. At 271 for 5, Glamorgan now had a lead of 162. That was the only wicket to fall to the second new ball. Mock, Wallace and Cook then took their side beyond 300 for a third batting bonus point. They were collecting the points quite nicely in this match now. With the total on 302, Wallace was a little unlucky to be caught down the leg side off Rob Taylor. The home captain departed for 18. The lead was then extended to 200 and more by Cook and Dean Koska, with Cook easing to his 50 in what was only his second first-class innings of the summer. He'd needed 91 balls for this half-century, from which he'd found a boundary on 5 occasions. Both he and Koska then tried to push on with the thought of possibly declaring to give Leicestershire a tough little session with the bat at the end of this day. In Glamorgan's favour is that the weather forecast is not as bad in the west as it is in other parts of the country over the next couple of days. The lead stood at 217 when Cook on 58 belted Nake down the ground, only to be held in the deep by Ramnaresh Sarwan. Koska was also out trying to hit over the top. He dragged this ball from Shrek out to Sarwan again to go for 11 after ensuring that he became the 9th man in the innings to make it into double figures. Indeed, in the end, not a single Glamorgan player was out for a single-figure score. By hook or by crook, Michael Hogan and Will Owen both got to 10, and when the 350 was reached and another bonus point accrued, Wallace decided to waste no more time out in the middle, and he called them in with a lead of 241. That declaration gave the Leicestershire openers 6 overs to survive at the end of the day, but in the 4th of them, Smith edged Tom Helm to Rudolph, who held on to a sharp chance in the slips. Smith was the 7th visiting man to be out in single figures in this match, and that's why Leicestershire are so far behind at the halfway stage of this contest. Angus, Robson and Nake at least saw out the remaining deliveries, but their side now has an awful lot to do to save this match. They will go again on day 3 on 6 for 1 in their second innings, needing another 235 runs just to make their hosts bat a second time.